Hi there, Jacob, formerly of 8-Bit Joystick. I tried a new site, not really a shipping service. It's called J4U.co.jp, and I'm of course here with Marcy, and we're going to open a box of Famicom games. So previously I used Sendico and Buy, and both I would describe them as shipping services. They're intermediaries, but you buy stuff on Japanese auction sites or through various retailers. This is an actual game store that has an international, they export.
I didn't realize that's what it was.
Yeah, and they are cheap. Very, I'll show you, but some of the games that I got in here, they have 20 Famicom games. The most expensive one was $4.50, and the cheapest was $1. And so they're a retailer, and I actually paid. So I think I paid $22 for the games and $36 for shipping. So I actually paid FedEx more to ship it from Japan to Portland than, and we are both enjoying beverages.
Oh, cheers.
Kombucha and beverage. So, yeah, so they don't have the biggest selection, but the selection that they have is freaking cheap and great. So it's really sort of like the experience of going to an awesome game store, like Hawthorne Game Exchange. I'm going to say my favorite local game store. Some people like Top of the Line Games in Portland, Oregon. That's a quality store too.
Also a wonderful choice.
But sort of all right, so J4U, they have everything here. Ooh, I already look at this. Basically, I'm opening the bottom first. It looks like because those are all facing bottoms up. So I'm gonna try a technical Famicom transfer. Oh, and I did, and it looks like they have little stickers on top of them all. And
the edible packing peanuts.
Are those edible? Can you eat them?
You can.
Really? Are they cornstarch?
I think so. Don't do it. They're terrible. No.
It's not dissolving. I doubt.
Maybe I'm wrong. It's happened before once.
I mean, everything's edible once if you're really going to try.
Yeah, you can eat a bunch of these and you'll maybe be fine.
Well, I have a day job. I'm a nurse, and human bodies can take a lot of abuse.
Yeah, okay.
But I wouldn't say that would be worth it.
As I'm trying to stretch these out, I'm realizing these are not the cornstarch ones.
Yeah, it did not dissolve in my mouth. All right. Would you like to, how about you do, would you like to take a pick? And
sure.
And we have the list here, the cheat sheet, if you have questions of it.
I am going to go by my usual Famicom selection method, and that is going with the colorful cartridges.
Okay.
So I am going to pick out this lovely red one right here. Ooh, and I know what this game is in the US/UK/wherever I'm from.
Mm-hmm.
This is Dino Ricky?
It is. That was localized as Dino Ricky. It is Shinjuri Ricky. So, Dino Ricky, it is like a shooter. Now, this is interesting. They have a little label on it, because Famicom games don't have top labels, and a little thing. That's interesting. So, Dino Ricky. I like the. Do you like the cave chick?
I do. I couldn't help but notice her beautiful redhead in the corner.
Yeah, and I think this is published by Hudson Soft, so I guess this has to go in my Hudson Soft.
It looks very Hudson.
Yeah. After we get these all clean, because I don't put dirty Famicom games. I always want to clean them first. Okay, so I am going to go with, I know what this is.
Ooh!
This is the big one. I paid a total of $5 for this. I'd have to look. But Ganbare Gyoban 2. This is the one I didn't have. I have Ganbare Gyoban 1, missing 2. Then I had Ganbare Gyoban Gaiden, the RPG, Gaiden 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I haven't actually got the N64 games. I got those on alternative methods.
And you have to get your copy of Mr. Going On too.
The
very first one.
That was an arcade release.
Yeah,
did that ever get a home? Did that ever get a home port?
Gotta get a cabinet.
I have the PS2, the PS4 version on my PS5, and I have various ways. But
well,
I
that'll
paid
suffice.
for it. Anyway, would you like to go for a game?
Oh, sure. All right, I'm gonna go modest this time and go for one of these white cartridges. Ooh, is this 2 words?
Thexter.
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 I thought I was looking at a game called The Exter.
The Xer. I don't think I thought it was weird little. And I have a cat. Being weird. So, do you know about this game?
I know nothing about this game. This one's a new one on me.
So, this is the Famicom in the early days got a lot of American developed games, mostly for microcomputers. So a lot of American games got ported, American computer games got ported to Japanese microcomputers, which then got ported to Famicom.
Oh.
One of which, so Thexter is and it's by a little company called Square. But it's not a role-playing game. You play a transformable robot, and apparently this game is hard as hell. You fly around a maze, and it was super simple. But I've always wanted a copy of it, and it was not released. So the game, I remember playing Thexter for PC at my friend's place, but I've never actually had Thexter for Famicom because the US didn't get that. So there's a whole era of like early Famicom that was considered like too basic for like the basic release. We got a couple of like the Pulse games that got turned into black box, but a lot of early Famicom that we didn't get. Okay, go for it.
All right, so I'm gonna try and ignore the cat beside me here, and this one is grabbing my curiosity. It has a very I know this game.
Okay, show it.
I've seen this one somewhere before. Mappy.
A Japanese arcade game ported to Famicom by not Namco, but read the name of the company.
Ooh, Namcot.
Namco's original Famicom games, and take the little thingy off.
Oh, yeah.
They called themselves Namcot.
That always reminds me of there being a difference between a plum and a plum cot. I used to work in Trader Joe's, so I know fruit facts. It's not it's not something I put on my resume, but that just pops into my mind every time I have to think of Namcot.
Is working on Trader Joe's on your resume? Because it really should be on your resume.
Maybe just not the fun facts part.
Okay. So I have a very look how like that label is like there's no like this
That
is so
is gone.
sun bleached. A very sun bleached copy of Suppari Ozumo Suno. Suppari Ozumo Sumo. It is a sumo wrestling game, and it's by Tecmo. And this was included on the Famicom Classic Edition. So I have the Famicom Classic Edition. It is cute little fat sumo wrestlers slamming the crap out of each other.
Oh, perfect.
So
I assume this didn't get an American release.
No.
We don't get
for
a
some
lot of
reason,
sumo games.
It's a real shame because we you know.
Well, how are we supposed to get into it if we don't have the game?
Exactly. All right.
All right, let's go. We've got some cute yellow cartridges in here.
Okay.
I am going to go with the warmer yellow, as I do. Ooh, and a good choice it is.
Yeah.
It is Mighty Bomb Jack.
Mighty Bomb Jack. So what do you know of Mighty Bomb Jack?
I know that I've had to look it up several times what the game is about, and I can never remember, but every time I see it, I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta play this one.
I would say it's like a jumping maze puzzle game, and interesting about this, it's a jumping maze puzzle game. I watched an episode of Retro Game Master or Game Center CX where he played this, and it looked like it starts simple and gets hellishly hard. Also by Tecmo. This cart I think is interesting because the person made the Japanese version, the owner of it, printed out Mighty Bomb Jack in Japanese, and here's 40-year-old tape keeping that on there. So I'm debating, do I want to get rid of that tape or do I want to keep it on there? And another thing that you frequently see in Japan, here's the dude's name. I'm assuming it's a dude. And I have a cat. Okay, you're risking yourself.
I'm a cat mom. I can take the scratches.
Okay, he's gonna want. So Mighty Bomb Jack.
Well,
all right, I am going to take Warp Man.
Warp Man.
Warp Man by Namcot. I know a little bit about this. It's an early Famicom game. It has some guys that look like they might have been on Dig Dug, but they're not Dig Dug. So
legally distinct from Dig Dug.
No. This is Namco. Namco owns Dig Dug. Sort of like how Bomberman sort of shows up in Lode Runner, made by Hudson on Famicom.
That's right.
So I don't know much about Warp Man. I'm not expecting my mind to be blown because this is a very early Famicom game, and it's got, it's described. The characters are basically like one sprite, so you get your one sprite size. But I'm expecting some maze. I'm expecting some. I want to say Pac-Man ripoff, but then again, Namco owns Pac-Man, so can they rip off their own stuff? Yeah.
Well, I know you're expecting a maze, but I hope it doesn't end up being corny.
Mom jokes. Okay, go on.
Alright, so this one I have to look at because it's like peeking at me, and I'm so curious as to who this is right here.
Okay. A Taito release.
A Taito release. These bands are hard to get off with these nails.
Pull them off. Oh, we got it right.
Everything is harder with the nails, but it's so worth it.
Do you know anything about this game?
I know nothing about this game.
Okay. Have you ever heard of Beat Takeshi?
Maybe. What happens in that game?
It's not a game. It's an actor. He's a guy. So the guy, Beat Takeshi. Takeshi, I don't know the rest of his name. It's actually his pen name is Beat. His acting name is Beat Takeshi. This is Takeshi no Chosenjo. I cheated. I have a list printed out. This is known as Takeshi's Challenge.
I've heard of this game.
It is fucking brutal. It is deliberately abusive. It is supposed to be a punch in the gonads. And that's the way, and so this is regarded as, do you know of a kusoge? Does the word kusoge mean anything to you? It means shit game. And it's sort of a genre, and there's some games that are so bad they're good. And we use the term cult following. In Japan use kusoge. But this is where they separate, men for the boys, earlier non-gender, non-binary children from older. This is where they separate the earlier gender non-binary children from the older gender non-binary children. Would you like to pick one?
Yeah, let's go. Okay, I see. Oh, I guess I can't see what this one is, but it looks intriguing. Oh.
Yeah, go for it.
It's Pac-Land.
Okay, so what do you know about Pac-Land?
I have these faint childhood memories of Pac-Land, and I knew what Pac-Man was, I'm pretty sure, but Pac-Land asked for a different approach.
Yes.
And I remember enjoying it, but then forgetting it in favor of the Super Nintendo, game.
So and this person, the previous owner of it, has is that a sticker on a sticker? Can I get that off?
Maybe.
I really hope I can get that off.
You might have
the
to bring it
previous
by.
owner put a sticker on a sticker. No, I can
Bring it by Marcy's Sticker Surgery.
Or I'll try some rubbing alcohol and see if I get this off. So Pac-Land, Pac-Man International Game Phenomenon. Some say that Pac-Man fever spread like viral, but
He's at it again.
yeah, he's into my thing. So Pac-Land is a side-scrolling platformer that predates Super Mario Brothers. So this is before a Nintendo game, before Super Mario Brothers, and the controls of it are a little clunky because I think you can't change the way that you jump in the air, but it was one of the games that might have allegedly inspired Super Mario Brothers. So this is originally was an arcade game. I think they actually used the buttons to run instead of a joystick, and then a really excellent PC Engine / TurboGrafx 16 version. But Pac-Land, I think the Famicom version is not quite as cool, but I like my Namcot games.
I want to give that one a try for sure.
And this is Namcot, the 10th release, so that's why I put a 10 on top. Okay, go for it.
Let's see. There's black card here.
Okay, go for it.
Oh gosh, there's one word I can read on this one.
That's good, because that's the name.
And it is Quarth.
Quarth.
Quarth?
What do you know of Quarth?
No, I don't even know how to say it.
Well, it's Quarth, so it's Quarth. And the Japanese Kwasu. Kwasu.
Much easier to say.
Sort of sound like croissant. But, your phone is going on.
I'm blowing up, I'm popping
Yeah.
up.
So, Quarth is, I believe, a spaceship puzzler. Again, great Konami game. This is before Konami started putting the top labels, or maybe they did, but this is, again, back when Konami was upcoming game developer, not fully evil, haven't had, this is when they started to be mean. I mean, they're in the early stages of being mean to Hideo Kojima. Okay.
Ooh.
So this...
Not one I'm familiar with.
Are you? Are you familiar with,
Am I?
The Legend of Kage? Legend of Kage. Okay, it's called in the U.S. Legend of Kagea. Cage.
Oh, Cage, yeah.
Legend of Cage.
My favorite video game character,
That's
Cage.
not how you pronounce it. In Japanese, you pronounce Kage. And so this is... I'm trying to read the Japanese because there's a lot of kanji. But side-scrolling, early ninja game.
Love a side-scroller.
Yeah, and they made their own, again, there's no top labels. Should I keep this on? Another hand top labels, but that's the name of it on, I think I'm going to keep it on.
Sometimes it's fun to keep the labels on.
But if it was done by an original owner, I'd keep the labels on. If it's done by GameStop, they can go die in a fire. Anyway,
Yeah.
Would you like to keep going?
All right.
These were cheap, by the way. These were like $1 to $1.20, which is how Famicom games should be.
Let's lighten things up with a white cartridge from Sunsoft.
Yeah.
I don't know what this one is, but it looks cute, and that's usually what I look for in a video game.
Okay, this is Atlantis no Nazo, which I think Maze of Atlantis.
Ooh.
And it is similar to, like, I think inspired by Pitfall,
Inspired by
Pitfall. And I think like they actually was like a point. This might have been brought to the U.S. as like a Pitfall related game. Like they actually tried to market on that, but Atlantis no Nazo, an early Sunsoft game, not released in the U.S. Keep going.
Let's go for a yellow one. What do we have here? What do we have here?
Okay.
There's nothing I can read on this one.
This was released in America. Little cute guy with a hat, maybe blowing bubbles, in a castle.
Is this Mylan's Secret Castle?
It's Mylan's Secret Castle.
Oh, this is so much cuter than the American label.
Well, of course. I can't read the kanji, but it's... Actually, yeah, I can read. So that says Mylon. Mylon, no, I'm going to say probably Secret Castle. But Mylan's Secret Castle, a really cute sort of early maze. I would describe these as like games that pre-mapper chip NES or Famicom games before they started using memory controllers to enhance the graphical capacity of the Famicom/NES. Mapper chips.
Mapper chips.
Mapper chips.
Is that what was present in games like Metroid, where you could go from room to room rather than just level 1, then level 2?
No. So you have original Famicom game, which is like non-mapper chip games that were like real simple. Of which the best is so like your black box games, your Urban Champion, and then Metroid was a Famicom Disk System game, and that uses the RAM expansion. So the Famicom Disk System actually has, it represents a technical upgrade over the. Keep talking, or I keep talking. You talk to the camera.
Oh, well, I'm gonna get stuck in on the next game here, or am I? Oh gosh, this looks like another weird one. I'm not sure what this one says, but we've got to see this one real quick.
I mean, if we're talking about the Famicom Disk System, might as well actually get. So the Famicom Disk System, of which I don't have the RAM adapter, actually had increased memory, and then it got brought to the US in cartridge form, so we got Metroid and Zelda and all the rest. Okay, so this.
This is a weird one.
Yes.
I assume because this label is out of control.
Yeah.
I'm really assuming that's a Charlie Chaplin mustache.
Versus other individuals that wore a similar mustache. This is showed up to the camera. Takeshi no Sengoku Fujin. So this is Takeshi's traditional Japanese samurai challenge.
Another Takeshi challenge?
Yeah, this is Takeshi Challenge 2 Samurai Challenge.
I had a feeling when I saw this label.
Yeah,
it was
and
be something.
let's look at the fucking label. So you got Taito, which, by the way, did you know Taito, founded by a Russian Jewish businessman who imported vodka in World War II? And then, a pre-World War II Russian businessman who went and turned his vodka, his a Russian Jewish businessman who had a shipping country importing vodka from China to Japan, who founded Taito.
It's pretty tight.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so that is the second classic video game company started by Jewish businessmen in Asia, because Sega, people don't realize Sega founded by Ms. Rosen. Anyway,
that's a fun little fact.
Yeah. Okay, we're getting down to the end of it.
Yeah. Ooh.
Xevious. So, what do you know of Xevious?
All I know is that I say Xevious.
Xevious.
Okay.
So, it's all up to interpretation. But what do you know of this game?
I think it's just one of those ones that I've constantly taken note of in ROM lists, just for having like a wacky name. I mean, like in like a very like early like space shooter video game, where it's like, it's just a word, and you don't know what that word is, but let's go.
Well, you play a little spaceship that flies around, and it can shoot straight up, and it can drop bombs, and it is really insanely influential in Japanese shooter design. So it goes like Xevious and then every other shooter. So it is like patient zero for Japanese games. I was watching these videos on like Japanese video game design and history, and it's like, yeah, Xevious, oh, Xevious. And the Americans are like, yeah, we know Xevious, but it's not like, oh, Xevious. A lot of like Japanese history books on video games are like Space Invaders, and then post-Space Invaders, and the American ones are like Pong and everyone after. All right, pick one.
Let's go with... Uh-oh, we've got a sad little torn label here.
Oh.
I hope the game still works because the label's torn. This one looks super cute.
Now this is funny because I already purchased the exact same copy of this in a different distribution today. Okay, do you know what that is?
I'm noticing a big lack of any identifying marks on the front. Oh, except for Namcot on the cartridge.
This game was released in the U.S. Early game. What sport is that?
That is boxing. It's obviously not Punch-Out.
Made by Data East.
Data East.
Published by Namco.
I don't actually keep up with
Ring King.
Ring King.
Would you have the... Oh, yeah. So, I went to a retro video game store today, and I purchased the Data East All-Star Collection, and I went to Game On, Play On in Newburgh, Oregon, and they had Ring King on it. Hey now, you're an All-Star. Get your game on.
I will say, now that I see the guy on the back, the Ring King guy, I totally know Ring King.
So this one has a little bit of a notoriety where there's like your boxing coach and you go punch each other, and these two guys that have like they look like afros and let's just say porn stash mustaches. Oh. And it looks like your wrestling coach is going talking to you in between, and they're just giving you a little bit of talk, a little bit of close talk, and it looks like it's something that's inappropriate, but it is not inappropriate. So that's what
it's very normal what they're
like
doing.
You to do in the middle of a ring. All right, so this is Route 16 by Sunsoft. So you think it's Spy Hunter, but it's not. This is Route 16. It is a maze action game. It's you really, really, really early like arcade design, like I think this is like a ripoff of Rally. It's Sunsoft ripping off Rally X. Mm-hmm. But so it's an old game ripping off another old game. But
old game drama.
Japan in the 80s, they just didn't care about like copyright. They just went with it. All right, 3 left.
All right, let's go. I see one with handwriting on the back, so
Ooh.
I'm gonna pick that one out. So this one is a Konami game.
It's a
that
Konami
I can't
game.
read, and it's got a Viking on the front. I assume that's a Viking.
It is. This is Nightmare 2: The Maze of Gallius.
Oh, he looks like a Gallius. Or is Gallius the... I haven't read up on this one.
I haven't either. This is one I got basically because it's by Konami, and it's not a role-playing game. I think this might be like an action role-playing game. I don't know. I haven't played it yet. Sometimes I buy it to find out about it. It was also like $2. All right, 2 left.
Here we go. This one is face down in the defense position, so I'm choosing this one. And it is... I should have read it before I showed it to the camera. Galaxian. Mm-hmm. Ooh, it looks very Space Invaders-y.
It is Galaxian. It was like Space Invaders, a Taito game, but Galaxian, sort of their take on it. And if you notice, look on the top, that says 01.
That does.
This is Namco's first release for... and so the Namco releases, the Namcot releases, are numbered So there's 1, and this is 10, and I have other ones, and so Warp Man is 8. And so some Japanese Famicom collectors want to get all the Namco games, so you have them in a series.
Ring King does not
Ring
have
King
that.
is not in the Numbers series,
No.
but it is a Namco game. All right, last one. Go for it.
Last one. Here we go. I'm getting better at these rubber bands. Oh, until I say that. Here we go. Okay. Ooh.
Okay, what do you know of this game?
This looks like an adaptation of the movie Transformers.
Close. This is Transformers Convoy. No. Basically, it's a mystery of Convoy. Convoy.
Oh, Convoy.
Convoy. So Optimus Prime was called Convoy in Japan. And so this, I believe, is also like, but he's Rodimus Prime in the U.S. Not Rodimus Prime, Ultra Magnus, and he was also a Convoy. I haven't like gone through my Japanese Transformers. So this is an early Transformers Famicom game. This game is hard as fuck,
Of course.
and Angry Video Game Nerd and other people. This is a game that has frequently gotten like rage on YouTube. This is back when like it was cool to in YouTube to like play these shitty games. I'm like, well, they're not shitty. They're just limited. They're products of their time. They're products of the budget that they had. They're products of the technical limitations. And sometimes they were just shitty. But
People were mad that they just couldn't get good at video games.
yeah, but this is an early cash-in, maybe, some licensed game. So this is by Takara, and they put a giant-ass sticker on the back by the game store. So this was probably by Hiro, the retailer, and I'm probably going to keep this sticker on there. And so I'm assuming this is like the GameStop of Japan. That's like we're gonna desecrate your cart with our stickers.
How we love it when they do that.
Yeah. All right. So we got some. Let's to recap. Let me recap or recat. So we got Route 16 by Sunsoft, Mylan's Secret Castle, Mappy. That's Namco Release 4.
Ooh.
Yep. Mighty Bomb Jack. Quarth. Maze of Atlantis, Atlantis no Nazo. Legend of Kage. Not Legend of Cage, Legend of Kage. Transformers, Mystery of Convoy. The mystery is can you keep playing it? It's terrible. Nightmare 2: The Maze of Gallius. This was originally an MSX game, so this is a Famicom port of an MSX game. The Nightmare 1 we never got. Zebius. Takeshi's Challenge. Takeshi's Japanese or Samurai Challenge.
Essential games.
Yeah. Games that you like. Galaxian, Pac-Land, Warpman. I'm looking at the name of this. Supari Ozumo Sumo, Fexter. It's called Family Boxing, but I'm going to call it by our name that we know it, Ring King.
Family Boxing.
Family Boxing for the Family Boxing for the family computer. It's like, how many Super games are there? Games that start with Super for the Super Nintendo.
There's a couple.
Just a couple. And one thing I'll say about what isn't Total Games, TOTL Games, one of their naming conventions is they ignore Super. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They also ignore Sid Meier.
And the.
Oh, yeah.
So, Dino Ricky. And Gambre Gilman Sid. All right, so grab a fistful of games and let's hold these up. So again, $20, like $26 in games. Very short. I paid more. So yeah, J4U, Japan4U dot J4 the number J the letter 4 U dot co.jp. I'm gonna be I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be splurging and buying more cheap ass Famicom games from there. I mean, this is. I love me some Famicom games.
Heck yeah.
All right, thank you. And again, this is Marcy, and I hope you enjoyed.